Okay, here is my audience for my presentation. Okay. I'm going to readjust this here. Okay, I see my cat's coming on. I'm going to shut my door on. Okay. Alright, okay. You guys get comfortable. This is my report on the feasibility of why Valley Transit should convert their bus fleet over to natural gas versus diesel fuel. The first thing, a little background on Valley Transit is that they service the Fox Valley area and have been for many, many years, and they are very sustainable and very worried about their economics and being sustainable for the future. So anything that they can do to lower costs is always going to be a good thing for them and the community. The few concerned about what I researched in this process was the cost of fuel and then the effects that it's going to have on the environment. First, we're going to start with the cost of fuel. I have a chart here. This chart shows that, like, this is the cost that right now that Valley Transit spends on. Right here is what they spend on diesel fuel for an entire year, and it's roughly up to $1 million on diesel fuel. If they switched over to compressed natural gas, their cost would be like nearly half as much, which is roughly around $500,000. So the actual savings that they would have every year is $500,000. So it's a 50% savings in fuel. So that's probably a very good bonus when you're trying to find things to save money. The other thing that you have to worry about when switching to natural gas is the cost to switch each bus over to natural gas, because most of the buses are set up for diesel fuel. And instead of purchasing brand new buses, you can actually convert the systems into compressed natural gas, and that cost is roughly $60,000 per bus. So when you have a fleet of 22 buses, that is an extensive cost. And then the other thing you have to do is how are you going to provide the fuel for the buses? Because we live in an area that has a very large infrastructure of natural gas already, you could build a natural gas fueling station, and that could cost anywhere upwards of $2 million. Now maybe you could get away and it would be less than that, but when I did my research, I just went off of that number being a higher amount. Because obviously if you can save money, it's going to be a benefit. So this other chart I have, this is a chart of the cost of your fuel over a duration of years. The green line is, actually, I have this one wrong, sorry. This line here, the pink line, is actually going to be the cost of the natural gas, starting up with this is the initial startup cost of the natural gas, and you're starting up here over $3 million, and that's the cost of converting each bus and the fueling station. So you're starting up here at $3 million, whereas the diesel fuel you start at zero. Well, after a duration of 7 years, the cost of diesel fuel is caught up to the cost of natural gas fuel. So in a short period of time, respectively, you're going to actually be then making a complete profit. The other thing to worry about when dealing with the converting is the environmental effects of what natural gas compared to diesel fuel. One of the things that is a positive for converting to natural gas is that there is less emissions and put into the air, things like carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, nitrogen, sulfur, particulates, mercury, things like that. And all of those are lower with natural gas over diesel fuel, except for carbon dioxide. And when you think about it, carbon dioxide is a natural product of things that we do already, like breathing and plants and things like that. So it's something that's in the air already, anyway. So I have a chart here that shows some of the pollutants, and if you look at all of them for natural gas, and oil would be similar to what the diesel would be. Every single one of them is lower for natural gas, quite a bit. So even the carbon dioxide is lower. So in here, this shows that, that's definitely a positive thing. And then one of the negatives that I found in my research for the environmental is the process in which natural gas is extracted from the earth. It's a process called fracking. They basically they drill a hole into the earth, and they pump in water and chemical mixture, and they extract the natural gas and they pump it into tanks that are already previously built. Now there's not a whole lot of research on this yet, on the effects of the chemicals to the earth and from the environment for the water supply. So they're not sure if it's going to have like a lot of harmful effects by doing a lot of fracking. And as research comes available, they will be able to find out more answers to this, and we'll know whether or not that is a good thing or a bad thing. But for shorter term, looking at it as a shorter term aspect, using natural gas over diesel fuel is definitely a plus. It's something that Valley Transit should consider to use instead. So that is my presentation. Thank you.